Guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we are back. Yes, I'm sorry. First of all, I do want to apologize for last weekend. I literally had no blood pumped into us, which was a bit of an error. So I had no energy whatsoever. So I'd rather not bore you guys looking like that, doing a watch along and doing a match reaction. I just decided to like call it. But we're back now, and yeah, we've got the preview to the big game, Man United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. I think this could be quite an even, might be an even game, but well, it might have been if Ollie was staying. But there you go. Matt, how are you for Foot United TV? How are you, mate?
Very well, mate. How you doing? You all right? Thanks for inviting us on.
No worries. And we've got a Monday from the Man United agenda. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, really happy to be here, Steve. Thanks for the invite. And hello, Matt.
Hello, Monday. By the way, Stephen, you've picked the best two people to come on and absolutely banter you about your club. So thank you so much for getting us on for that. All right.
Don't you worry. Like, if you want to come on a match reaction when you beat the crap out of us as well, like I'll send you the link. You know me, like he's. I know him down there still looking like for revenge after the UEL final. Like, but yeah. So obviously we're gonna start with the Ollie. Obviously Ollie now has now left, and Radnick has now come in. I'll start with you, Matt. What do you like? How do you feel about that appointment, and what could you see happening from that? Do
you know what, Stephen? I got on board. I was a bit 50-50 at first. Then I got on board, and now I'm kind of creeping backwards, and I'm kind of frustrated about that because my mind's still not quite made up about it. There's always the point of the fact that he left Hoffenheim because he couldn't handle the stress. Same with RB Leipzig, but Man United is a big club. If you can't handle the stress at a club, that kind of worries me a little bit. And he is the sort of manager that does stay in and wants to have a long-term commitment. And it, going in for 6 months and then going up the board. I think him being a board member or sporting director would be terrific because he really does put in good players. He got Haaland in for Salzburg, so he knows scouting wise, he knows who to pull in for clubs. So I think that'd be good. I'm just worried a little bit about the fact that he's not a short-term manager, and he's even stated that out himself, quoted. So it makes me think: is this right? Is it wrong? And I'm 50-50.
That's interesting to hear because obviously he's going to be a better appointment Ollie at the minute, and it's going to be a bit up in the air. I mean, he's managed to get you a draw against like Chelsea when everyone pretty much thought you were going to get. Even I thought you were probably going to get absolutely torn apart by Chelsea the way they're playing right now. So he's managed to have some sort of impact already. And Monday, how do you feel about it? With Radnick and the whole appointment? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's the best move to make. What we're getting in this guy is a guy who's filled many positions and mastered many positions. He's like a black belt in technical director and sporting director, managing director, chief CEO, whatever.
He can kung fu kick the Glaziers, eh?
Well, yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. So it's like all these managers, like Klopp and Tuchel and all these guys, they had to go and see him to learn the style, So they probably traveled up the mountain to the Shaolin Temple, and met the Don Gargan, the sensei in his dojo, and learned his style, and they've come back down to earth, as he's one of their disciples, and and no one can counter this style at the moment, no one can defeat it. It's undefeated. So we call him out, we turn his head, we summons him, and his head is turned. And he said, yeah, I want a piece of that. I'm coming to Man United, and I'm going to implement all my style on the coaches and throughout the whole club. And I've been given license to do that because we called out an SOS, because that's this kind of situation we were in. Save our souls, soul of the club. We were losing it under Ollie. So it's really important that We let him come in, do his thing. You know, I know Matt was saying that previously he'd obviously had issues, not, you know, stress or whatever issues he'd been having in previous clubs. But now he's at Man United. He's 63 years old. He could probably see this as an opportunity, given license to run things completely. He could probably see this as an opportunity to really, really show all the secrets he didn't show to Klopp, everything else. I'm sure he kept a little something to himself, and have all that creative work to do. You know, license to create everything, all he wants to do. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a really important factor, I feel, because he negotiated with Chelsea when Lampard left, and he wants some demands, and they were like, no, we can't give you this, can't do that. He's like, so I don't care, I'm gone then. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of character he is. He's so convicted in himself that he can afford to do that. So now that he said yes to Man United, that suggests to me that he's actually got his way and what he wanted. And he can sit back. He could have just said, no, I'm not happy with that. Goodbye. You know? So we've had to negotiate a deal with him. He's happy with it. We're happy with it. And I'm sure we will see the results of this new style, you know, thing, monkey style, monkey fist, or whatever he wants to call it, that can't be conquered at all. You know, that's right, Matt. You know about kung fu films and kicking. And the thing is, we kick people's ass, you know, and we will be kicking ass. Starting on Thursday. Or it started already, as you know, because even though Carrick's so-called manager, he's getting a phone call and he's getting a training drill from Van Rick already. And we see that on the pitch. I mean, we can see that already. The way they set up, the way they're playing, different shape and everything else. So it's a bit undermining to say that's happening. They wouldn't say that publicly, but you can't, you know, anyone who knows football can see that is actually what's happening.
Do you know what's a good? Can I just add in, Stephen, the fact that Ranić actually went for the job at Crystal Palace quite a few years ago, and he was. Didn't know that. It was when Simon Jordan was the owner, and he.
Oh, God help him.
They said to him, "Your ambitions are too good for this club. You're too good to be the manager of this club," and that just shows you, I guess, what you're saying, Amonde, his credentials and how well he's thought of by other players, owners, managers, etc., that the fact his style is so great. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
just to add, I mean, there are a number of disciples out there. Even I'm seeing King Tony in the chat, and we're going to Brentford next week, Tuesday, I think it is. Yeah, and big up King Tony. If you look at Brentford's way they've developed as a club and how they've been self-sustaining themselves in the Premiership, that's another thing from German football. The press, the manager knows Klopp. If you go all the way back to Rudy, what's his name? The guy who played for Man City, who used to manage Brentford. Since he arrived, what's his name? Oh God, I can't remember his name. Uwe Rosler. Uwe Rosler, yeah. So he came to Brentford a few years ago. Brentford always jumping in between leagues and never really established. He came to Brentford a few years ago, and from then he established something, and they've been built up since then. So the German way is the way to go. It's modern football, and we've been left behind. So we've got a lot of catching up to do, and the quickest way to do that, to make that leap, you know, of faith. We had a leap of faith to get him, and a leap of faith, and a leap of catching up will happen in 6 months. I'm sure of it. We will get top 4.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you were looking at, obviously, from an Arsenal's perspective, if Ollie was still in the job, I would have probably said we have a better chance, obviously, but I wouldn't guarantee it because Arsenal, for me, and Arteta, for example, he's one of them managers that he'll beat your Watfords 1-0, or you beat your Fulham's 1-0, Norwich 1-0, and people will think that's hunky dory. Let's jump up and down to 10 games unbeaten, though we've lost the first 3 already, so it's not really an unbeaten run. But he'll then come against Man United and get absolutely touched by a manager who's supposed to be failing and failing and failing. And but now you've got Ranić in. That really now, and the thing is now you've seen what he managed to do against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge as well. It's not exactly at Old Trafford. They've gone to Stamford Bridge and got a point when everyone pretty much wrote them off. So be able to do that in a short space of time that he's been given, Arsenal need to really be careful going there. And I wouldn't, if we got a point, I'd take that as a result. I'm not even joking. Because
There's a mirrored image there, though, Stephen, with what you're saying, because you say about the fact that you don't beat the big teams, and sometimes we beat the big teams and don't beat the small teams.
yeah,
So it seems like it's a reversible
mm,
situation.
that's the thing. You'll turn up for big games. I mean, like, just run through. We'll absolutely destroy Man United, banter club of the Premier League. Well, to be honest, mate, they're the banter club of the Premier League, but they finished second last season. Where did we finish? Just want to throw that one out there. And the actual banter club of the Premier League is actually Spurs, but there you go. Like, and we're not that far off it. But speaking of Spurs, how are you, Dan? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Yeah, Ragnar from 4. Yes, that probably be a catchy slogan for him. But yeah, I've the fact is that he's going to go up to the board level as well afterwards. Could be a good aspect for Man United as well. So because I think it's the boards, you still see where the board area is still where you're letting it down, is where it's still letting the team down. Because
isn't that what's happening with you? I hear that you got Arsene Wenger. Arteta's asking Arsene Wenger to maybe come back.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, Mackenzie, how does it feel that we all wanted Wenger out? These Arteta in fans wanted Wenger out, right? And now they're asking, and now because down they want him back because Arteta says he needs him. He needs help. Right? If you need help as an Arsenal manager, resign. Resign. Right? You don't go asking help from no other club, from no other manager, from no other players. No. If you're the Arsenal manager, you should be good enough to run Arsenal Football Club. If you're not, then you step away and you leave. Right? It's very funny how these fans wanted Wenger out because he couldn't get top 4, right? But yet they're going to keep a manager that's going to finish 8th twice in 2 seasons, and also is now going to ask that manager that you wanted gone to come back and help him.
But it sounds, I mean, you probably agree, Monday, with me that it sounds sentimental. It sounds like something that Man United do, bring in someone to just. He's not there to coach or tell him how to coach. He's just there to pick up the club and what he knows in and out. I mean,
this is the thing. Arteta has already said he wants him closely working with him on how to manage the club.
No, I disagree. Obviously, I'm not an Arsenal man, but from what I've heard about it, I think it's a nice gesture. It's a summons, an invitation. Do you want to come and give him, someone who's a legend at the club and deserves a lot more credit for what he's done, to invite him back, not on the coaching pitch. There's no way that Arsene Wenger will be sitting, taking drills or doing the coaching like that, but give him a role in the club. Since he's left, Arsene Wenger's experience is taking on different roles, working with FIFA, encouraging this what is it, the World Cup or he's done a lot, yeah. So he's obviously, he's obviously working upstairs with all the big wigs and everything else. So maybe he can do something with the club, have some sort of role, unpaid role or just advisory role, and it would be a good gesture. I think it's a nice gesture to ask Arsene to do that. I don't think it undermines Arteta in the slightest.
So for me, that's done. I don't want him anywhere near Arsenal anymore. It's done. It's finished. Like the fact that we're now. Yeah, but also the reason our standards are so low is because he started this thing called Top 4's a trophy.
Imagine Man United going, we don't want Alex Ferguson anywhere near the club.
I know.
But here's the thing. Alex Ferguson always demanded the best and still demanded to win.
Ask Alex Ferguson what he thinks about it. He'll be like, this is a great thing.
But Arsene Wenger was quite happy to sit there in 4th place. And plus also, so Alex Ferguson... You
think so? You think he was happy? You think he was actually happy? I think what it was, he's a realist. He's seen that he's taken you from that dirty, small... 7-a-side goal stadium behind you on your green screen. He took you from there. Hold on
a minute.
He took you from the 7-a-side goal stadium, Highbury, and took you to a bigger stadium, which is thing. And there was going to be some. There was gonna be an issue with it, which he said it might take some time for him to get that transition. In the meantime, you guys we're fighting against Chelsea, Man City, all these big money sides with no history who've come in. Yeah, so to be self-sustainable, which you are still sustainable in the league. He built your house, your new house on rock. Okay, that means you got youth academies, and you're there praising. You're there. It's all right. You go Smith Rowe and Saka and all these kind of things, raving about these guys, but forgetting they've come for your youth academy, which I believe has been set up by Wenger, and he's gone and walked away. He said, "You guys are cool now," you know. And all this thing about the top four trophy. My final point is all this thing about the top four trophy. That's just a banter thing. Clearly, he wasn't happy just being in the top four. He wanted more, but he understood that Arsenal couldn't compete with the likes of Chelsea, who weren't in the running before, and Man City, who weren't in the running before. And now we've got a new one called Newcastle. So let's be realistic out here.
Hang on. I've got another thing then. So why doesn't he buy another striker in 2015-16? He got a check for free. He got checked for a free. He could have quite easily gone and bought a striker, which he then did the next season.
Wasn't allowed to, bro.
Right? Why? Because he was covering the board's ass. He was covering the conkeys and the board. Right? Ivan Gazidis, he was covering him. Right? How is it he is
shrewd?
In
shrewd. You are shrewd, man.
I'm sorry.
Seriously? No.
He should have been buying a striker. He should have been buying a striker that season. He had plenty of opportunities to go win another.
You talking about, is that a season Leicester won the league?
Yeah, he should have done it.
Okay.
He should have done
shrewd,
it.
Very shrewd. I think that's a bit OTT for my opinion. You're there.
And then in the end,
you are the number one hater for Arteta. We sit here, talk football. We say Arteta's done a good job, and you will not turn it around now and say Arteta's had a good job. Your intro was all about, this good run, but we lost our first 3 games. Most Arsenal fans I know are quite saying, okay, we can see the signings are fitting in. He's bought signings to fit into his system. He's finally seeing some sort of development here with Arsenal Football Club. But no, Stephen's like, but we lost our first 3 games.
Have you seen the performances? Right?
Is there an improvement?
No, but it isn't. It's the same poor football. This is why when we go play. But this is why when we go play.
Are you not seeing an identity of football from Arteta? A tactical breakdown. Have you not seen how you can build? What about 15 passes for a goal for Saka on the weekend?
He's got better.
But that's one incident, right? Why are you playing?
That's one incident.
Why are you playing out from the back against Liverpool? What at Anfield? Why are you doing it?
Because that's your style.
No,
you got to perfect it. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect.
You're not Barcelona. You're not Pep Guardiola.
Hold on a minute. You're sitting at 5th in the table. After coming 8th last year and getting whooped, and as he was trying to transition the side and trying to change the side, he's revived your whole football club. He's got rid of all the deadwood.
Up and down a bit until May.
And we can see now. Look, he bought a goalkeeper who everyone's raving about him now. He's part of that system. You've got a way of playing out from the back. You've got a way of playing. You're bringing 2 guys in who are playing international football now in England for England. You know, Pepe is £77 million for signing or whatever he costs. Can't even look in because the youth players are coming through. So I'm really happy with Arsenal. As a neutral, Arsenal are doing really well. And this is a good model that you've got here. But no, Stephen is not happy.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
That's fine.
I'm not. After what he's done the last 2 seasons, he's got a lot of proving to do.
But don't you have to
every time we've gone to a top 4 side, right, or a side that we need to get to compete to get anywhere near there, right? And by the way, top 4 doesn't really matter because if we got Europe anyway, that's the sort of ticket we need. Any form of Europe will do because we can still buy the big players. We've done that with Aubameyang and Lacazette. So top 4 is not. It's really a myth about getting big players because we can do it. We can do it if we we get in Europe, right? But even then, if you're going to Anfield, the last thing you do is play out from the back. I don't care whether it's you keep doing it game after game after game. So all I'm doing against Newcastle, Watford, Fulham, or Norwich or whatever team or those lower league teams. When you're going to a big team like Anfield and you know how they play, the last thing you do is play out from the back. You mix it up, right? That is again tactical naivety, right? And that's why when we come to play these big sides and when we want to get into a top 4 or in a title race in the future, He won't do it. He will
You play-
fail just like Ollie. He will
you
fail
play-
How
just
about you
like Ollie.
flip it, Matt? Please explain to him.
You played better than us.
But look at Ollie.
when we
He got
played
all the way
in-
up to second, but in the end,
and
look
you
what
were
happened.
away and we were at home. You played better than us. We were going through that crap. Arteta's doing a good job, like at the moment. Yeah, of course, like in the last few years, you were looking at it and going, maybe he isn't, but he is. I mean, Pep's even come
But
out
I'm
and
saying
said,
he's not
like,
the man. He's not the man
he
to go
knows-
take us to another title. And I'm not sitting here with
Maybe
accepting.
not. He might
April.
hit a wall like Ole did. You know, Ole was not going to win anything. He hit a wall. He brought back that passion in the club. And I think Arteta's doing that too. You're fifth. You're above Man United. We're here talking about that preview and you're above us. And you're still moaning about the manager. And we haven't even had a manager. We just got one in. Come on. Like, you're doing okay. You can't be slating the guy. Like, I think personally, like, you have been slating him. You have been right. A lot of the time you have been because, you know, the way they were coming out sometimes winning the FA Cup and the expectation on his shoulders to after
Matt,
that.
do you feel with that side we should be playing in Europe right now?
With Smith Rowe and Saka and a lot of other players like Martinelli, what a great
Do you
goal
feel
that
that
was.
side last season should have got us in Europe this season?
I think that's a Europe position team. You can definitely get top 6.
So why are we in it?
Because last year you won.
Why we've been the first? Why we've been the first team to have been? Why is it he's the first manager to knock us out of Europe completely, even though they invented a new tournament since 94, 95, 26.
Right.
Plus
Can I answer
well,
that?
and, plus as well, I'll let you answer that as well. But plus of all, right? I'm not going to be one of these fans. They're going to sit there after 3 games and where we've lost to Man City, Chelsea, and Brentford, and go, "Oh, I'm going to go Arteta out now." And then after 3 games, which is 2 poor performances against Burnley and Norwich, where we could barely score against Norwich, can only score against set pieces against Burnley, right? And then 1 good performance against the Spurs side that never turned up. Sorry, Dan, but he didn't turn up at all. And then when they did turn up in the second half, we didn't score a goal, and actually they won that half 1-0. Right?
All
so
right.
if actually
Can I answer that? Can I answer that? You just mentioned that.
I'm not going to then go jumping back in saying Arteta's brilliant again. I'm going to stick to my
That's fine.
original opinion.
That's fine. This is what the great thing about football. We can have a lovely discussion about it and think. And here we are on your show as an Arsenal fan, convincing you that your manager is decent as you sit there above us. Anyway, let me just make a couple of points for you, Stephen. Right? Sit down, relax, and hear this. Right? Your standards, right? So your standards for Arsenal, not based on 1971. Or not the double 1971 team, not based on anything prior to that, because not much was going on. It's based on what Wenger did. It's based on what Wenger did when he was at the peak, probably the best Arsenal era that you've ever had. So that's the standard for you, okay? So you hold on a minute. I need to make my objection.
Let him plan.
Okay.
Let him land.
Go on.
So your standards are based on Arsene Wenger's peak, which we as Man United fans know very well because we had to face you, and it was a scary proposition, you know. So that's what your measuring stick is: get into Europe, winning leagues, you know, and get into Champions League final, that kind of thing. Now, this is Stephen who's saying we're not there yet. But you've tried different methods, the short-term method, buying players, Mustafi, all these guys. But now you've gone for the long-term process with someone who's young, got a philosophy, and you've given him time to progress. He's obviously form's dipped, and now he's starting to rise. Now we start to see some progression. Everyone can see it, not just Arsenal fans. Everyone in the league can see. Actually, they're doing something good here. They've made some really good signings. Signings that fit the system, and it seems to be working. Obviously, you're a young side. You're not going to smash the likes of Liverpool like you want to do. But the thing is, you want to get to the standard of Wenger, but in the same breath, on the same show, you're cussing Wenger. So who's better than Wenger for Arsenal?
George Graham.
Who's this deity that's better than Wenger? You're saying you want Wenger standards. You're saying you want Wenger standards, but then you on the same show, you're saying Wenger, oh God, I don't want him back at the club. Wenger was only top 4 trophy, all this kind of thing.
No, mine is based.
This is the sort of guy who would sit there when the winning goal at the Emirates, sit there like that. Well, everyone's cheering, yeah! Stephen was sitting like that. Oh, no, he should have made that run. You know? Grumpy old man.
No. Hang on a minute.
Anyway.
It's not based
Anyway,
on Wenger.
I've made
It's
my
based on-
point. I want to say hello to B. Hello,
will
B.
It's based
Hey,
on
Amandi.
that. I will just say though, it's based on Arsenal's history. It's not just based on Wenger. It's based on.
So what's the best? What's the best era you've ever had? The double side of 71. There you go. All right, you can think as much as you want, but the answer is Wenger's era.
You could say George Graham as well.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you George Graham as well. That was a good era. So what are you basing it on then?
Herbert Chapman's our greatest ever manager.
Invincibles, double.
Double, you could say.
And who done that? Wenger. Okay, so anyway, B
71 as well.
Is B all right? Let me start. Is B a Man United fan or an Arsenal fan?
I'm an Arsenal fan, bro.
He's an Arsenal fan.
Greetings, B. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I saw the documentary last night. Great documentary. I'll put it this way. Here's the problem with the documentary. I think it was definitely skewed in a sense. Like 1 hour 20 minutes is all about the 2003 season. There's a lot of great things that came out of that. I think for me, like I look at that and it was historical, man. I mean, that was there were so many good moments in that. There were so many things that we got to see that we didn't see originally. The last 15 minutes was pretty much like I think they minimized it. So like I didn't completely see the entire like Highbury area. So like anybody who's like it's definitely PR'd out. So I get that portion why like there's gonna be some criticism of that. But overall, man, you got to give it to Arsene Wenger, man. Like some of the stuff he did at that time, some of the stick that he took from the media, and don't forget the times were different culturally back then too. He came here and he also went through like some scandalous times with the media. He dealt with a lot of stuff and he did change a lot of stuff and to go like his life is summarized by the word millimeters. He used that phrase throughout the whole video, and that's pretty much what happened. Is like everything was like everything came down to inches, and in a game of inches, like towards the end of it, I think if he got provided more resources, it would have been nice to see what his potential truly would have been like.
Bargav,
that's my legacy on that.
Bargav, and it's good to see you back, bro, as well. Would you have him back at the club and in some sort of position?
Yeah. Like, but you know, like if Ragnick is getting this like consultancy position, and he's built like 17 years of foundations, why not? Like, see, that's the one thing about Arteta I think I'm okay with. He's bringing back some of the good parts of the Wenger, and he's actually building on them. So in that sense, I think like it would be nice to have him in a consultancy role. I know.
But hold on a minute, Bargav. Wenger should have got strike in 2015. That's a no.
What?
Wenger's I wouldn't have him in the club because Wenger should have put a strike in 2015. Scrap it. No way.
But you have to look at the difference between him and Ferguson. Look at how Ferguson is. Like he's so hands on at your club.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't like
not always.
Right now. If right now he has to like talk to like 3-4 people now, right? With Ragnick in the consultancy role, so upstairs it's going to be a little bit more mixed opinions wise.
Look, I mean,
so in that sense, like I would have Wenger back as a voice.
Yeah, look, I mean, with Sir Alex Ferguson, same thing. Like you're saying, like Wenger couldn't get a striker in 2015, whatever. Nor could Ferguson after Ronaldo left. You know, he got like Valencia and Chicharito and
Van Persie.
Yeah, but that was later on, right? For 1 year.
Yeah, best players.
And that wasn't a lot of money either, really. To be
you
fair.
had Tevez. You had you had some great players, man. Nani.
After Ronaldo, they weren't there.
Look, the problem I think after Ronaldo that you had,
he didn't get the players in. He replaced Ronaldo with Valencia. Yeah, from Wigan. He wasn't given the structure. That's why he goes, I'm out in a couple of years. I'll win the Premier League one more time wasn't even the best team in the league that season, really, on paper. Man City were dominant. And you look at the Man United team and they were still doing all right. That's because he had the love in his heart to do what he knew what to do, but he knew to leave because the Glazers were going to send us down a dark path. And I think Wenger did the same thing. He's like, I should have probably left a few years ago because I'm not getting what I'm getting now. Now I've done everything that they asked me to do. I jumped hurdles. I bring in players. on the cheap. You bring in a manager on the cheap from Grandpa Sait from Japan, a nobody who made that club something that it used to be. And he did the same thing with his players, brought players in that nobody knew and changed it up. How can you say that he isn't anything decent for Arsenal?
No, he is. Listen, for me, what changed the league was Liverpool and like Man City with their styles. Like when they started like rolling in, and when Pep and Guardiola came in, those two teams just completely changed the whole Prem. Like their styles are like I don't think Ferguson would have like competed really well with those two teams.
Why? Why did you say that?
Nah.
Because I think they were too forward thinking, in my opinion.
Nah. Not for me.
Interesting that.
Ferguson always finds a way to beat someone.
I disagree.
I do not think so though. Like I mean,
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I just made a point. If anyone thinks like I don't rate Wenger,
like look at Pep right now.
By the way, I grew up with Wenger, like so, like
he's even got the name Arsenal in his first name.
Should have been backing him to the very end, right? To the very end, because I grew up with Wenger. It's the only thing I know, right? And he gave me some of the best moments of my life, right?
Yeah.
But by the same token, when you're sitting there covering for what the board's doing to the club, and you're sitting there saying we've got to believe in this, right, and back this and back this and back this and back this, and then we're getting torn apart by Bayern Munich, though we're promised we're supposed to be competing with them. Well, I'm sorry, my patient was thin with him, and then to make it, and then what he then comes out with in an interview afterwards, and it's just more crap to divide the fan base even further. The division in the fan base, right, over the whole thing. And then once he's left, he's done another interview or a book, and it's like,
yeah, but that's social media, though. That's social media.
No, he's not there anymore. He's not there anymore, though. He doesn't have to shush about anything now. He's open to say how.
Yeah, but it just causes more argument with it, and it's like, oh,
you know what? It's just like, you know what, Stephen? Maybe you need to have a screening of this documentary and get all emotional. And actually do a live stream of you watching the documentary and have a box of tissues next to you so you can get all sentimental. I remember why you love your club so much, because you're losing some heart on this, boy. You've lost your way.
No. Do you know? Yeah. Monday. Do you know why? It's because Arsenal's lost its way. Arsenal, I'm so delusional with it. It's not the club I love.
All right. So you're saying this about the guy who made you the best team you've ever created at Arsenal Football Club in your rich history.
What's that?
You're saying all this about the manager who created the best era and the best team in your rich history.
Yeah.
But you're saying, but that's not the Arsenal I love. What do you love? What, 1984? You love losing Luton in the League Cup in 1987? I don't know. What do you love?
Monday, like, in the end, Wenger is the past. We need to move on from Wenger. Stop this sentiment crap. Sentiment has destroyed Arsenal.
That's not true.
No, it has.
Yeah, but we never had a
players, but we keep
look at the statues outside your ground. You got Henry, you got Bergkamp.
He has to get one. He has to get one for me.
But we have to just
agreed.
Like, move on from.
Right,
we have to move on from it.
You're moaning about
he has to get one. I mean, look, he's.
No, I'm just saying we need to move on from Wenger. It's done now.
Yeah, but we never had a proper ending though. It was a protracted ending. Like,
I mean, basically, you either get him sacked the hard way, or you leave.
Stephen,
that's basically what you got told.
No,
here's the choices, right? He could either come to your club, or he'll stay at FIFA and try and get 2 years every World Cup.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather him go to your club. Leave FIFA, mate. Get that idea out of your head, because it ain't going to work.
Listen, that thing's got to happen though.
It won't happen. But
not the 2 World Cups, but I do think like it has to.
That's another debate on another show. Don't worry about that. Like, it's just some of the ideas he comes out with as well. It's like, I don't really want that back here, please. So
I mean,
like,
some of it's over the top. Obviously,
it's giving me some of the best memories, but I'm sorry. Like,
there's no buts.
No,
lucky you, man. I mean, you at least got to go to Highbury, man. Come on.
But in the end, he should have known when his time was up. And
She's the best girlfriend you ever had, and you ditched her.
He had
You're not-
no. He had two
done?
chances. He won 2 FA Cups. He could have left on an eye, but no. He
And now
stayed.
you're running solo. Your best girlfriend who wants to come back. You're like, man. And you're
I mean,
I don't want him to
like,
come back. No,
you're going
I'm
to
happy being
a little
single.
pieces
I'm
that
happy
ain't
being
done
single,
anything.
mate. I'm happy being single.
And the
Don't
thing is,
worry
this
about that.
girlfriend had sprayed the perfume all over your clothes. So every day you have to smell it, you know?
Right.
And
No.
remember how good it was, you know? But you hate it.
But
Inside, you
no.
hate it because you can't
No,
grab
I'm
it
not
anymore.
me.
You don't have that
I'm not
anymore.
me. Look, if you see the way Arsenal is run right now, right? Can you see why I don't like? I'm not interested, really. I'm not that interested.
Look, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I'm raving about your club at the moment.
Because
Shall I tell you why I'm raving the club?
Sait.
Because there's a time when Arsenal were the best run club in the Football League. Now I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, they've gone back to basics. They've gone back to basics. They realise they can't compete. Here we are in the new era. We're in 2021 now. You can't compete with Chelsea. You can't compete with City. But what you can do is use the foundation that Wenger built with, like I said earlier, with the youth academy, everything else, that's built on rock, right? Unlike some of these other clubs who come up with just buy the best players, whatever. You built something there that's sustainable. And now you can build on that and you can build a good team based on tactical nous and the Arsenal way. Free-flowing football, scoring goals in open play, which you've been doing a lot lately, and playing good eye-candy football for the fans. That's what we want to see. Any achievement above top 6 is massive right now. To me, that's like winning league. For a club that's gone down to 8th place and all this kind of thing, to sort of do it for the long-term goal, not the short-term thing. It's like smoking weed or taking cocaine. You know what I mean? Cocaine, it doesn't last long, but smoking weed, you might have a longer thing and more enjoyable, thing. So go for the long-term goal. I'm not here promoting drugs or anything like that. I'm just saying that's
no, we're not promoting any drugs here, by the way.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that's an analogy you use. A lot of people say that.
In your spare time, like, to keep it to yourself, like.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? You've gone for a long-term goal to have a little dip, of course, but long-term you're going to be quite successful from it and sustainable. That's the main thing. And I like what you've done as a club. And what you called it, the process.
Process.
The PR process. The PR.
Nah,
process.
listen. I mean, I think right now, like, I think it's okay. We're still like way far from where we need to be. Like, but there's definitely, like, I don't know, like, it's a weird spot where we're at right now because we're not really creating any chances, and the style of like our style is not really that great. We're getting results to an extent.
Do you want to see sometimes in the games? So our
They're boring.
Our style at the minute, the reason it's boring is because we have 20 minutes where we're, oh my God, like the first 20 minutes is like all over Arsenal, right? And we're going full out. And then after that, it's like, oh, we didn't get anything. Oh, we're part of the bus now. And it just dies down. Like, that is literally it. We played really well for 30 minutes, or at least sometimes a half, and then the next half will come out and it's just like totally dead. Like, and it's like, well, like, why? It's the same as like the I'll give you the Crystal Palace game, for example. Went 1-0 up, and to that point, Crystal Palace looked like they were going to get smashed. That, honest to God, we were playing that good. And then once we scored, immediately I saw us drop back 5 yards. And every time we score a goal, we do this. We drop back 5 yards. We let the team come back in the game. And then we wonder why we're struggling and getting last-minute equalisers. And everyone's celebrating like a last-minute equaliser against Crystal Palace. Well, Wenger, Henry said when they drew against Tottenham to win the league, like, oh, look at Tottenham celebrating the draw. Well, now we're celebrating a draw against Palace. Like, so, like,
I guess they knew how important it was, though. And Man United used to do that back in the day when we were 1-0 down. When we get a 1-1 draw, we used to
but
be.
we shouldn't have been in that position in the first place because we're playing that good.
But if you pull a game back 1-1, sometimes it can be accepted. I guess. Look, I know what you're saying about Newcastle as well. They've been really terrible recently as well. Norwich have done so much better than them. But look, I mean, you're 5th. You're above a lot of clubs that you shouldn't really be. And that's because of the direction.
What I'm saying is it won't last.
Maybe
Well,
not. You don't probably have the squad. Maybe you got a lot of young players. It's going to be difficult, but you at least you're seeing. I think you're seeing some progress. Okay, you come 8th last year. So realistically, looking at the squads, all the squads in the Premiership,
It couldn't get
and
much worse,
think,
did it?
where do you think you're ranked based on all the squads in the Premiership? Where do you think you're ranked?
Well, I'll tell you what. West Ham's process is working better than ours.
Scottish Division 1.
Yeah, but they're too inconsistent for me.
Well, to be fair, Bargav,
We're
they
about the
finished in
same.
Europe last season.
We're
and
about
they
the
had
same.
Moyes was employed the same week as Arteta, and he managed to finish in Europe last season. So
West Ham.
Yeah, but you got to the semi-final of the Europa League last season.
yeah, now we're not in it at all.
Well, you have sometimes you have to take 2 steps. You have to take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward.
Yeah, I know, but like not with the side that we've got. The side that we have got easy is Europa League, easy.
So when I ask you where you ranked in the 20 teams in the Premiership, where do you think you're ranked as squad?
Squad. If you're looking at it on paper right now, Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Leicester. Leicester's is kind of even.
West Ham.
Yeah, I could say that. Yeah,
They're above you. I mean, they're doing good in Europe. They're through.
yeah.
So there's about 7 teams you've named there.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like Crystal Palace is up there, but that's
Brighton.
Brighton. Just because
Brighton, they just haven't got
8 teams. So you're naming roughly 8 teams that you think maybe are ranked better than you for squads.
Yeah,
and you're in 5th place. So you're currently in 5th place, and you're upset. Where's the logic in that?
I'm not jumping up and down and saying I'm Arteta in because of 10
because you were so vocal last season. Now you're starting to improve, and people are like, okay, Arteta's doing the bits.
No,
I can't say it.
No, a Monday if he gets
it is yes.
No, in the next 2 years, if he gets us in a title race in the next 2 years, then I'll change my mind. Simple.
Wow.
But also, it's not just about where we are. Like, why is Saka so poor right now? He hasn't had a break. Why is Saka so poor right now? Saka.
So did he score a good goal the other day?
Yeah, but his performances all season has been crap.
Well, same applies for Maguire and Luke Shaw, who played in the Euros.
But do you know why? Do you know why he's dropped off so much? He hasn't had a break since the first lockdown, since 2020. Right?
Yeah,
he's dead. And that's why after 30 minutes, like he's dead. He can't run. And that's why like Liverpool had all the freedom of the right hand side of our right hand side when they played us because he was dead. He couldn't run anymore. Right?
So what you propose you do?
What you're going to do?
Rest him.
He's going to injure. Yeah, you got Pepe, especially when you got Pepe and Martinelli on the bench. But we can't put Martinelli on because I have an agenda. What? It's the only thing.
Or because you want to wean him in the side because he's had injuries, suffered injuries before. So maybe you want to introduce him slowly.
No,
I don't know.
The injuries is over a year ago.
Yeah, but why were the injuries there? What sort of injuries was he getting? Muscle injuries?
He had one massive injury, came back, had a slight knock, then came back again. And he keeps saying he's fully fit and ready for the game. Well, play him then.
Okay.
Play him.
Okay.
Stop kidding Saka and give Martinelli a chance. You bring him on in the 92nd minute just to embarrass him in front of our fans. Are you taking?
No, you bring him on the other day and he scores a beautiful goal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but 90 seconds. Yeah, it made it. Do you know what it made it? Do you know what it really looked like? It made Arteta look like it made Arteta look like an idiot because it made his agenda look really stupid.
How did it make him look an idiot?
It did.
Wonderful goal.
It did. Do you know why? Because
manager brings player on, player scores goal, manager frustrated. How does that make headline?
Matt, it makes him look like an idiot because all of a sudden, like everyone's like, "Well, why have you kept him out of the team for so long if he can do that?"
Wait, because he did that.
We've been so poor. We've been so poor, right? We've been so poor in that like semi-final, for instance. Why didn't you play him in that?
Because maybe you felt like that was the right time to bring him in, and it was the right time to bring him in because he scored the goal.
No, there's so many games, like crucial games, where you could have won. Where
He
you could
didn't
have
seem
brought
too
him in as an
unhappy
impact.
about it,
He
Stephen, though,
didn't do
did he,
it.
Martinelli? He didn't seem too unhappy. He didn't like just run off.
Hey,
Close
listen. I mean, I
quiet.
think the point is. I
Quiet.
think the
Treating
point is.
Martinelli is disgusting.
He went, yes,
This-
well done, Arteta,
Saliba,
bring me on,
Saliba's
right
another one.
turn.
How can you judge a player, a young player like Saliba, after 2.5 games, and then he goes off to Nice and Marseille, and he's player of the goddamn month, and yet we can't defend to
Yeah,
save
but
our
I
lives.
can't tell you that that was
How many clean sheets?
You're telling me Ben White's better than Saliba?
I'm asking you how many clean sheets you've had this year. Okay, there we go.
4.
Yeah, but
Right,
listen,
yeah.
like some of Arteta's decision making, over the years has just been like questionable. I mean, I just don't think. For me, like you got to win really big games. I mean, he wins the occasional game against the big teams where they outshoot you like 20, 21,
Well said.
20 to 1. But not every. But most of the games we don't create anything in the big games, like 0 chances. It's the most dead game in the world. So that's like the biggest criticism of him.
Last time we went to Old Trafford is a bit like how we played Norwich.
No, we actually dominated
Boring.
that game at Old
You
Trafford.
beat us tactically.
Yeah, we
last
dominated.
November.
Yeah,
You
but
beat
the
us
only-
properly.
But the only reason, same we did with Burnley like this season. But the only reason we won it is because of a set piece.
You were asleep that game though. That's the thing.
the only reason.
Partey played really well in that game. I thought I was applauding Arteta after the game.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this guy's making movements.
But
I mean,
yeah,
you had
but
you had
never
Pogba
heard-
on the right wing that
Not
game.
great.
I never
if I
heard such
remember.
an excuse. The only reason we won something. I mean, like, how
that
can
is
you
the only
say that
reason we
was
won. We were never scoring a goal in that
You
game.
won. Who
ever.
cares what you did? You won the
We were
game.
I took-
actually.
No, at the
That's
time, I
the
took
only
the
game
victory,
I would say
right,
we
because
had
I
a
still
chance.
believed. No, at the time, I still believed in the guy. So don't get me wrong. Don't think
Yeah.
I was
You beat
upset from
us.
the start here, right? Before anyone gets down my throat saying I didn't give him a chance, I did give him a chance, and I was still Arteta in at that point, right? But then when he goes against Spurs and performs like that, right? At Spurs, I don't care. I don't care what manager you are. You don't do it. You don't do that. No.
You won.
Right? And he was already on the board. No. That was no Spurs last season at White Hart Lane.
Well, they've always.
You know what? Hold on a minute. Remind me not to piss off Stephen because he holds a grudge. All right, it might be, but Omondi, back in 2015, you frowned at me. You know that's why I don't like you. Hell.
Yeah.
That's because I want to win.
Hold on.
wanna
Let's
win.
switch this to United real quick.
I'm
I
not,
have a
I
question.
don't start a season saying I want top 4. I start a season saying I want to win the league.
I want to hear what Bargav's got to say, but talk MUFC. That's weird to read out, actually. And by the way, Fabrizio Romano is not a United fan; he's a Watford fan. Bargav, please.
Yeah, he's a what? Yeah.
So like switching this to United, I guess like everyone's favorite term nowadays is free hit. Is the game for you guys a free hit in that sense? In essence, making whatever happens for Arsenal a free hit at that point.
It's not for me.
Like
No,
what's gonna
no
happen
game is
is
Man United's free
like
hit.
what's gonna happen is like you guys are. I feel like you guys are trying to figure out this like how to incorporate all the parts. So Ronaldo's gonna play, and pretty much like you're gonna have like a high pressing game on tomorrow,
Maybe
and
not.
to see how it works. But what? So like tomorrow's game, like what are you guys expecting basically?
I'll go with Monday first because I know Monday's got to go, and I've got to go too soon. But Monday, smash it.
Yeah, I've got a couple of minutes left, so I expect us to win. I've seen dramatic changes since Ollie's got sacked. Villarreal, for example, we've gone there, got a result in Spain against Villarreal, something we've never done before, 3 points. I thought we set up completely differently, protected our back 4, and obviously got the result and scored 2 goals in the second half. Against Chelsea, I was really impressed. I thought that we stepped up again and played a system which is identical to what Ranrick is going to be bringing. So to me, it's clear that we're starting to incorporate those sort of values, those sort of tactics and shape into our side. So I'm really happy about that. You should do just move your mouth so it sounds like it's you talking. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really happy about that. And I think tomorrow against Arsenal, I think we're really going to have to do our homework and try to sort of press them, but do it intelligently. It's not just press. Do it intelligently, because we're new to this. We're starting to learn this, And I'm sure the instructions have come through to the training ground from Ranrick, even though he's on a work permit, he can't officially do it. But that's exactly what's happening. So I do expect us to win based on Saka being injured, based on being at home, based on the momentum that we've had in the last couple of games, based on players wanting to impress the new manager, show what they got, and based on the final thing that Stephen has been putting negative energy out there about his club.
So wait, is this like the start of the end for Pogba? Because I feel like he's like he's like the one player. I think Ronaldo fits. I think Ronaldo, they're gonna work around Ronaldo for me. Like he's just levels ahead of everybody.
I don't know. I think you'll see a different team next year with Man United. There's a lot of players that are going to be out of contract. I think with Ranić coming in, I think he's going to replace a lot of these players that ain't up for the job or not signing the contracts. I think Pogba's one of them. Jesse Lingard's one of them. Yeah. There's Matic as well. Matters on his last. There's a lot of players that are on their last. Right. A lot of players, probably half the team, starting team as well.
We'll just mention King Tone's quite a good one about United versus Ramsdale. That's another factor as well, is that that's going to play a key role. You'll probably get a load of chances to test Ramsdale, because the majority of our games is that Ramsdale gets tested a lot, and you see most of the man of the matches. If you ask most of Arsenal fans, is man of the matches throughout each game, very rarely would they be an outfield player. It would most likely be Ramsdale in most of the games, which tells a lot. Even if we're winning a game, it tells a lot about how the game's been played. And if your goalkeeper is constantly man of the match, eventually that's not going to be self-sustainable for defense.
Stop using my words.
I'll use your words.
Stop using my words.
Oh, channel, I don't want.
All right. I'm signing out.
Right.
But
give us a score prediction before you go, man.
I think it's be 1-0 to Man United. Love you, Stephen. Love Arsenal as well. I love what Arteta's doing. So keep endorsing him. And one day I'm going to be blessed. I'm going to screenshot it when you say Arteta is the man. Because you got to give him. He's slowly starting to sort of creep into your heart. Like the analogy Matt gave about a girlfriend, ex-girlfriend in Wenger. This is your new girlfriend. He's sweetening you up. I can see the dimples. I can see it happening. You're getting all rosy inside. You are loving Arteta and you're loving the football. So 1-0 Man United.
All I'm going to just say to that is, when I go to the hospital next Thursday, can you come with us? I think you might need a blood infusion.
You ain't getting the last word. The last word will be tomorrow night at about 10 o'clock. That's when it's going to be. And I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to make a little video on my phone. And I'm going to send it straight to your number on WhatsApp. So that's when you'll be seeing me next. All right? Good luck. Bargav, good to see you again. Big up, man. Matty, you know how it is, man. Yeah, you know how it is. Big up, guys. And big up all the people in the chat as well. Great channel. Make sure you follow Stephen Featley, and I'll be following you this week for your F1, because not only are you an expert on football, but you're an expert on F1 and all kinds of things as well. So big up, Stephen. Good health to you, and good night.
Big up, Monday.
Yeah, I gotta go too, but Stephen, watch the documentary. It's not bad.
Look, I'll watch it in my own time. It's just I get documentaries are great, but that's the past now. I need.
It's good. You got the Nottingham Forest one as well. That's on Netflix recently. That's
my whole point with Wenger. Wenger is the past. Yeah, we need to move on.
It is, but
the past. You can watch the past.
It is, but
no,
but
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying about Wenger coming back to the club. Just certain things have happened before where I don't trust him.
Why'd you have Edu back then?
Edu.
Listen, I mean, he's not coming back as a coach.
Mate, I don't like Edu either.
You can't say that you can't bring things back from the past.
Wow.
Mate, the guy
we all read back from the past.
Yeah, and that lasted 3 months, and that
so you still got something out of it. You still got a memorable moment for him versus Leeds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Matt, but you've got some sometimes you just have to move on.
Yes, but
Like,
you do. But you sometimes you do remember those that have served you well.
yeah,
And
that's fine. But we need to move on from that. As a club, at the minute, we need to move on. We
No,
need
but
to
I don't
start
think
looking forward. If you
I
want
don't
to
think we
be, if
can
you want
because we
Arteta,
have.
no, but if you want Arteta to be the man, and if you want Arteta to take us where we want to be, you've got to move on from Wenger
But
and all that. You've got to move on from that.
yeah,
Stop
but that's
bring
why you give him the consultancy role because we have 17 years of
no.
foundations. We have 17 years of
Oh, don't bring
foundations that to be
foundations
built.
into it, for God's sake.
yeah,
Yeah, we do.
I can't stand that,
I'm
bro.
gonna go.
I can't.
Yeah.
Stand.
go,
Yeah,
bro.
Matt, before you go, like, so I'm gonna wrap up soon. Give us your score prediction before we go.
I'm saying, do you know what? I'm going to give you something greasy and dirty. 3-0 Man United. There you go. No goals from.
Is
from
that what
Arsenal.
she said?
That's what they said. Remember, it's 2021.
Oh, start. Yeah.
There you go. I was correct.
There you go. That's
correct.
me. I'm strung. That's it. Because I've just disowned it. I'm just gonna get strung up now.
That's what they said. That's what they said. Okay.
That's what he
3-0.
said.
3-0, mate. What about you? You haven't said, have you?
I don't know. I'm gonna go 2-1 United. My heart says.
Good chat.
My heart says 1-1.
Yeah.
My head says 2-1 Man United.
Okay.
Like, and that's not me being negative. It's just me, but I'm realistic. So what I see with the club right now is what I'm saying is just a lot of it is just absolute PR nonsense, making you believe what you want to believe,
Yeah.
right? And unfortunately, a lot of this is you see it on Twitter. As soon as it comes out of Edu Arteta's mouth or the board's mouth, they gobble it up and buy it, and that's where the owners are like, we can do what they want, we can do what we want, we can say what we want because they'll believe it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I get
and in the end, these owners, in the end, it all filters down, and all they care about is that. That's why they're all worried about top four. They're not
Like
worried about
most,
winning the league. You
like
watch it. We'll get to It's like with Man United in a minute. You'll get to win it. You won't. This is why I said Man United might produce the best squad that could possibly win the league, right? But they'll never go and actually try and go and win it because as long as they're making top four, it doesn't really matter.
no.
Doesn't matter to you, though. That's the
If
same
you,
with Arsenal. That's what I'm saying.
Stephen, if you keep this stream under 1 hour, this is definitely a retweeted video. This has been great today, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
tuning
and
in
then
with
that
us.
the case, Bargav, what are you gonna go for before we go?
Yeah, so I think I can see Man United scoring 2 goals. For us, it's like a variety of results, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's probably gonna end up 1-1. I can see it going 1-1.
Mate,
But
I'm probably
like,
going to be the next person to be cancelled because I'm Arteta out. So there you go.
yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Oh,
1-1. I'm hoping Man United doesn't get that second goal.
look,
But
that's why I don't mind. That's why I love the money coming on because like you can have that open debate, and I can debate it as much as I want, but like in the end, like that's my opinion, and you can come and debate me on it as much as you want, but that's the end of it. So that's the whole point of it. But we're gonna wrap it up there. Make sure, please, to first, Matt, where can I find you, man?
You can find me on Football United TV on very soon tonight for the same vlog that you kind of doing, an Arsenal versus Man United preview. I know you're going to be on with Marley on Friday, right? Possibly, Stephen? Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Get Marley on. We'll get Marley on Friday. Yeah.
Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Football United TV. Go shout out to Bargav as well. Big up Bargav and big up SFeatleyTV. Make sure you subscribe, share, and like all of his content. Brilliant stuff. Formula One coming up this weekend as well. So make sure you tune in because it's very tight. It's the end of the season.
All right. So
Almost.
there you go. Bargav, where can I find you?
yeah, you'll find me here, and then you'll find. Yeah, I'm not really on the web.
Okay. That's cool.
Not yet. I don't really do the social media thing completely.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. As I said, you can find us on SFeatleyTV. I'll be doing the Gunner Small Corners with Marley. Get Marley back on Friday for this one. Like, I'm gonna drag him. Yeah. So we'll get him back for that as well. That'll be Friday. But the weekend, obviously, we have there's no football, but we've got the Grand Prix. 2 races to go. The title fight, it looks advantage Hamilton, really, though the points advantage is Verstappen. The car advantage says Hamilton right now. So Red Bull trying every sneaky trick to try and stop him, but it ain't working. So, like, an actual quote, Total Wolf has just said on a quote to the news press, the car has never been in a better place all season. There you go. So, there you go. Yeah,
that's next week, isn't it?
No, it's this week.
Oh, it's this week. Oh my god.
This weekend. So yeah,
Damn.
imagine. I will be also I'll try and get hold of people to try and sort out the logos and stuff and the new F1 channel that we'll try and get off the ground by the new year. So, but because we'll move that onto that channel. But until then, big up Arsenal Alex, big up Tony, Anthony, TalkMU MUFC. Who else has been in here today? Danny, Jay-Z, I don't like the fake one. Taliban. I don't know whether I should have said that out loud.
You should.
Sorry.
They are what they are. It's fine.
That's I'm just reading names out here.
I know it means freedom fighters. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's cool.
The DJ Khaled, Miss Mel, big up Miss Mel. Like, go subscribe to her as well. Excellent content. Excellent content. Leo Musk, if only it was. King Tone, and who else? Oh, Carl, Billy, and also Mackenzie. But anyway, make sure to hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and we're back at 9 p.m. with a combined 11. Yeah, we'll do a combined 11. We'll be back for that. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.